She wasn't supposed to speak, but when the CEO reached for the door, the black maid screamed, "Don't enter." Everyone froze. She was shaking, eyes wide with panic, blocking his way with her body. It wasn't just fear, it was desperation. To the staff, she was just the help. To him, she was invisible. But in that moment, something about her voice, her terror, made him stop. What was she hiding? And why would the truth make a powerful millionaire question everything he thought he knew? Watch until the end to find out. Wait a second. If you enjoy this story, please support us by clicking the like button. We'd also love to know. Comment below and tell us which city you're watching from. If you'd like to see. Elena had cleaned the same estate for nearly 7 years. To most, she was just the quiet maid, always early, never complaining, always invisible. She moved through the mansion like a shadow, polishing floors and folding laundry in silence. The staff barely noticed her, and the wealthy guests never did. But she noticed everything, especially the locked door at the end of the east hallway. No one ever spoke of it, but she cleaned around it daily, always careful, always watchful. The new CEO, Mr. Langston, had just inherited the estate. Young, sharp, and proud of his success, he wanted to see everything he owned. That morning, he announced he'd be touring the entire house. Elena's hands began to shake. She tried to act normal, but her eyes kept drifting toward the forbidden hallway. Something was behind that door. Something Mr. Langston was never meant to see, and she had less than an hour to stop him. Elena rushed through her tasks, hands trembling as she dusted furniture that didn't matter and scrubbed surfaces already clean. Every minute felt like a countdown. She had heard the CEO was curious, wanted to understand the legacy of the estate. But there were parts of that legacy no one wanted to revisit, especially not him. Years ago, something terrible had happened. Behind that locked door, Elena had seen it. She had heard the cries, but no one believed a black maid back then. No one even asked. Now, as she passed the east hallway, she saw it, the key, resting on a silver tray by the butler's station. Unwatched, unlocked. Mr. Langston approached, casually chatting with the estate manager. He didn't see Elena standing frozen near the hallway. Then she heard it. "I want to see every room, every inch of what's mine." The butler laughed nervously. "Even the old wing?" "Yes, including that one." Elena's heart slammed against her ribs. She dropped her rag, sprinted down the hall, and reached the door just as the CEO turned the key. "No, please, don't enter." The staff looked stunned. Mr. Langston paused, confused. Elena's voice cracked as she whispered, "There's something you need to know before you go inside." But was she already too late? Would the truth finally come out, or be buried? Again, the door creaked open. Dust spilled into the hallway, along with a choking silence. Inside, the air was heavy with the past. Faded photographs, broken furniture, and a single plaque on the wall. Mr. Langston stepped in, puzzled, until his eyes locked onto the framed document. It listed names, black workers once enslaved and later employed without pay. At the very bottom, in small script, was Elena's grandmother. He turned slowly. "Why is her name here?" Elena stood trembling. "Because your family never let her leave." The room spun. His legacy wasn't built on success. It was built on stolen lives, buried in silence. His pride collapsed under the weight of truth. She had cleaned his floors, but her blood had built his empire. And now, standing there, he finally saw her, not as a maid, but as a mirror. Would he walk out, or finally take responsibility for what lay within? Mr. Langston closed the door behind him, his face pale, his silence louder than any apology. For the first time, he didn't see Elena as the help. He saw her as a witness, a survivor, and a keeper of a truth his family had buried. Days later, that wing was transformed into a memorial, not to wealth, but to those who were silenced beneath it. Elena's grandmother's name now stood in gold. Elena didn't want praise. She wanted history to be honest. This wasn't just about one house or one family. It was about how easily pain is erased when it doesn't belong to those in power. How many stories like hers are still hidden, still unheard. It's time we stop walking past the doors that make us uncomfortable and start opening them. Where are you watching from? Drop your country and city in the comments. Let the truth be heard. Everywhere.